Hi, Pisces. Lots of questions. People want lots of answers. People want you to adapt to the way they do things. But I have a way that I do things. I have a comfort zone. Please do not mess with my comfort zone. I know what I like. I know what I want. I know how to do this. Don't tell me how to do it. I know how to do it. That might get you in trouble if you're in an established bond. I think people want to share their ideas with you. And you may feel very defensive about it because you feel like they're telling you what to do. You may also feel like people are trying to give you new ideas about work and you feel defensive about that. Like, I know how to handle my career. Thank you. I don't need this advice. But perhaps you do. Right now, for you to keep pushing at something that you know is not working career-wise is a mistake. You should be looking for new things to get into because they will be profitable. It can be in the same vein, but to try to stick to something just because you've always done it isn't going to work. And May is your first indication, excuse me, of that. 9 of Cups in reverse. So much accomplished, so many cups filled and put behind you. Why does it feel like they're all spilling now? Well, misunderstandings. When you reach plateaus within a high, they can seem like lows. They're not actual lows. But you are being questioned quite a lot, and I don't know if you like it. But it is, again, the World card. It's about boundaries. It's about where do you and your opinions and your wants and your will end, and where do others begin, including a significant other, whether you have one or not, including your children, including your work colleagues, including your friends, anyone who's in a position, 6 of Pentacles, to give you advice, but also to help you out with some financial, gems of wisdom. It's not that you're in a bad state financially. It's just that I think that you're looking for, fruit in an area that's already been picked through. There's nothing there. In the I Ching, it says that you won't ever find what you're looking for if you're searching in the wrong forest. It's not that there's anything wrong with your searching technique. You're just looking in the wrong place. And that's a lot of what May is about for Pisces. You're looking, you're searching, you're exerting your will, you have your opinions, but are they misdirected? Are they misplaced? Are there people in your life that are sincerely trying to help you, and they may have a better way of doing things and you can't tell, you can't see it? There is a very stubborn streak to Pisces. All the water signs are quite stubborn. But Pisces hides their stubbornness under their mutability. So a lot of times people don't see it until it's a bit too late. Oh, well, that hit a nerve. Bottom of the deck, Page of Pentacles. If you're dealing with an earth sign, you may be feeling like your communication with them is based on ego right now more than anything else. And that's frustrating. Here we have the 8 of Pentacles. Okay, I think that came up in the Leo reading and the Aquarius reading. The Magician, the 3 of Cups, also very much a theme, and Judgment. So people can't wait to tell you where you're being toxic. They can't wait to tell you where you need to shore up your boundaries. But I think it's also because they want you to branch out in terms of work. They want you to explore new opportunities. They want you to use your talents in a new way so you don't feel so frustrated, so stifled. And that Magician card, that means that you have the energy this month to try something new, to venture off in perhaps a boundaryless realm where you can explore all the different things that you've wanted to do in the past and you haven't. It's not because you were afraid. It's not because now you're not afraid. It's just because now it's because now you have an excess of energy. Now you have the appropriate kind of energy to do that. And also, you want to say a lot. You may want to fight. You may really want to argue because you do feel a bit pushed around. But, excuse me, I think it's only because people are trying to help you. Nine of Cups, the world is also feeling like you've lost something very publicly. It doesn't have to be a person, just something you cared about, someone you cared about. Could be a friend. And you feel yourself put low by this, put in a low position by this. Like people are looking at you, looking down at you. And then there's the natural push. Well, focus on work. If the other stuff isn't working, focus on work. And the Magician is there to say, hey, if you focus on work, I'll show you a new way out. And the Three of Cups is there to say, hey, don't give in to your bad habits and be scared, and don't give in to your pride and miss out on this opportunity, right? Because in this case, the Three of Cups is the self-sabotage. And what is the self-sabotage? Right there. If you want to confront people about them trying to help you or tell you the truth or perhaps show you a different way to do things, it's going to cause a lot of tension. Nine of Wands, the Emperor, 10 of Swords, 8 of Cups, 6 of Swords. It's going to cause a lot of tension. We'll look at the cards together. Because when you are unwilling to let someone else's ideas into your space, when you allow yourself into a space where you can actually listen to what other people have to say and their ideas, especially if it's an Aries, then it's okay. But if you don't want to hear it, if you know how to do it, then you're putting yourself in a space where you're going to be surprised. And the surprises may be unpleasant because however or whatever that situation, that person, that work colleague didn't feel like you were going to be receptive, didn't feel like they were going to go get anywhere with you. And so you end up finding out stuff without being told first. Messy. And all of this mess can be very easily avoided by just being open and accepting of the fact that you may not know the best way to do everything. In whatever situation you're in right now, whether it's a work project, a family thing, a love relationship, a baby, whatever it is, you may feel like you have it on lock. You know exactly what you're doing. But you can feel that things are off because you can feel it from the people around you. So as long as you maintain right now this feeling of, I got this, I know it, you stand to miss out on people who are genuinely, perhaps, having very good ideas about how to do things differently. And they may find you to be so intractable in getting you to do things differently that it becomes a real issue. And other things start popping up because of that, and things that you didn't even realize were an issue. You're like, oh, well, you're also mad about that? You also don't like that? I didn't even realize that you didn't like that. And that can lead to some really unnecessary hurt, some pain, some moving out of stuff, some moving away from stuff. And it doesn't need to happen because this is like Pisces PMS. Is the only way that like my brain is coming up with right now, where everything is kind of has you like on edge and wanting to like snap at people. And what'd you say? And why'd you say that to me? And what does that mean? Like, what are you trying to say? That kind of, and anyone that's dealing with you right now is like, whoa, why are you so defensive? Why are you so worked up? Like, what happened? That Taurus season aggressive energy has got you fiercely protecting what you feel is yours. And it's funny to have a conversation about boundaries with Pisces, because a month where you're going to be focused on boundaries for a sign that doesn't understand them and generally works to dissolve them is an interesting month. It's a lot of expansion and contraction again and again, and trying to concentrate this knowledge down to something that you can glean from this, that you can take away and say, okay, I really did learn from this. Because most of the times Pisces feels like they learn from themselves, you know, so you can actually teach a Pisces something that's incredible. So a little humbling, perhaps. Swallow your pride a little, put your ego to the side. And if you don't manage to put your ego to the side, it will become very painful and, like I said, unnecessarily dramatic. Just not a time to be picking any kind of fights or, you know, wanting to come out on top in a power play of some sort. Not the time. Won't work out the way you want. And you'll get your name dragged through the mud for nothing, and people will be saying stuff that's not true, and you don't need all that. So, you know, damage control before it's even happened. Preemptive damage control. Lovely. Okay, Pisces, let's look at it. I loves yous. Mwah. Hi, Pisces. And here we are. So as you can tell from the beginning there, it's pretty clearly about boundaries and power, about who you respect, whose advice you'll take, where you need to be more humble and how that will make you more successful, where you need to find new ways of pursuing perhaps old dreams. You need to make your own luck right now. I don't know if I stressed that enough in the opening. And that's really how I see that first part, is just an opening. Because here, when you can see your cards and you've watched them fall out and you know the dialogue that we've had around them, you're also, whether consciously or unconsciously, learning to read them. The dissolving of boundaries runs into an issue. We need to put some circles around some things. Money may feel tight, but only because you're looking to old resources for new income and it's not there. A new way has to be forged, and your new way can come out of your old thing. But look deeper into it and you will find some new direction. You have all the tools you need to find this new direction. And yet your self-sabotage loves to kick in at these moments and say, hey, maybe you can't do it. Which here only leads you to a wonderful opportunity of being able to say, perhaps for the first time, to that inner dialogue, I can do it, I am gonna do it, it's totally fine. I can find 10 new directions to take my career in. I can find 10 new ways to make money. I can find 10 new ways to apply my talent to existing things. No worries. The Judgment card is perhaps more than anything you having a conversation with yourself this month about your worth, but also your esteem. What's esteem? How capable we feel of handling a situation. So if you have felt lately like money's been a little tight, the Judgment card by 3rd week of May is like, but what are you going to do about it? And you're able to answer a lot. I can adapt, I can change, I'm mutable. I mean, mutable water, very changeable. Mutable water changes more than anything else changes, right? Because mutable water changes state, right? Mutable air is something that comes out of mutable water. Some would say mutable earth is also something that comes out of mutable water, right? In the Norse myths, the primal Muspel and Niflheim, the mutable fire and the mutable water, is what everything comes from. The cold and the fire, the frozen and the fire. And the frozen is mutable water. So if anyone, that is all to say that if anyone can handle change, can present in a new way and continue to attract abundance, it's you guys. But you have to believe it first, and I think that May puts you through it so you can genuinely get to the place where you feel good about yourself. And that will only happen if you meet the challenges this month instead of shying away from them. Wherever you have been any sort of a victim, you, are being really called out. And it's time to go back to work and rebrand. And then down here, 9 of Wands and the Emperor. This month will also show you where your ego gets in your way. There will be some painful realizations about you and your ego that you may not like. But it may also help you understand why you have lost certain partners, certain opportunities, certain friendships, certain, whatever from the past. It puts things in perspective. You're learning so much about yourself right now. Other people are learning about Virgos this month, but you're on the axis with them, right? Other people are learning about Virgos. Pisces are learning about themselves, right? Taurus has an overabundance of compassion right now. On the axis across from them is Scorpio, and they are being flooded with material abundance. One has abundance of spirit right now, one has abundance of material, right? So people are so they're on an axis, you and Virgo are on an axis. People are getting great insight into the reality of what is really in Virgo. Pisces is getting insight into the reality of what is Pisces. So everything that happens this month is to show you who you really are in a way that nothing else can. Now, is it all great? I mean, obviously not. Now we're getting a little into the extended, but obviously not. The water signs, as I mentioned in the Capricorn video, are being very manipulative right now. You may feel the deep desire to cut ties in a very big way. And yet, you may also feel like you have been cut, especially if you're dealing with a Gemini. But we'll look at all that in just a minute. All the links are below for, the Vimeo Extended, PayPal link, Pisces subscription, where you'll just get it as soon as it's ready. But also there will be a link to tickets for New York City. And there's a couple of things going on June 21st for the summer solstice. We'll be doing a live podcast event in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, at a place called We Are Much Different. So it'll be on June 21st, inshallah, and we're doing live podcasting and then a dance party afterwards. During the live podcast, we'll do Revolution Ramblings, but also I'd like to introduce you to the 3 people basically that I hang out with the most. 2 I've known since kindergarten, 1st grade, and the other I've known for 20 years. So 2 of them are my friends from grammar school, and the other one is my sister-in-law. And we will debut our new group podcast called The Read Clinic. So all of that going on June 21st. I'll put a link below where you can get early tickets. There's all different levels of admission, so it's really cool that way. I think one of the options also includes a meet and greet, so that's really dope. What else? Yeah, we're doing a daily chart and a daily horoscope on Instagram every day, and then every day except Sunday. And
The Instagram handle and all of that is also below. So if you follow us there, we can hang out. Okay? All right, Pisces, I'll see you in the extended in just a second.